Look what I just got here.
Hello, my name is Jason Dragon, here again to talk about cryptocurrencies. Today we're talking about my predictions of the future market price of cryptocurrencies. I'm going to base it on one general philosophy that I have, and through my years of experience in economics, I believe it's true that usefulness is what drives the market cap. Because the more predictable usefulness of any currency, such as this cryptocurrency, the more people who are going to buy it, the more demand there's going to be for the fairly limited supply, and therefore with more demand, there's definitely going to be a higher price. Because people want to move dollars around, or they want to move yen, or they want to move euros around, and people still think as cryptocurrencies is more of a medium to move these other currencies around, not really necessarily as a store of value. So if 1 million people are using a cryptocurrency, and then all of a sudden 2 million people want to use that same cryptocurrency, that means we need about twice the market cap to make more of a value of that same cryptocurrency. So if you want to see your Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you own go up, you need to tell your friends about it, and you need to start using it more and demanding that other people use it more. Maybe not demand, that's probably the wrong word. Anyway, so let's go over a little bit of history here. As you can tell by this chart, in early December of 2014, or 2013 I mean, that's a pretty big peak. There was a lot of hype about Bitcoin, everything was awesome about Bitcoin, and there were a lot of new uses. And it doesn't necessarily need to be an actual usage of the currency. It could just simply be a perceived possible future use of that currency. Then a lot of the hype didn't really work out. So as you can tell, cryptocurrencies went way down. There are a few other currencies popping up here and there. This is the market cap of the entire cryptocurrency universe put together. $25 billion right now today, April 1st. It is April Fool's Day, but I'm not going to do an April Fool's joke right now. That's not what we're doing here. But as you can tell, right around here, July 2016, this was the little bump of Ethereum, where Ethereum became quite expensive, about $24 at the time, and then it crashed back down. And Bitcoin and all the currencies, had a little bad day. Here, December 2016, it started going back up. Crashed a little bit. Now it's been going back up. And there's a lot of awareness about cryptocurrencies, and that awareness is driving more usage. There's been new uses, new places coming online, and therefore there's been a lot of people moving into the business, and the market cap just since the beginning of 2017 has gone from about 15-16 billion dollars all the way up to the 25 billion dollars it is today. Now, a lot of that is due to Ethereum. Ethereum at the beginning of the year had a market cap of just under $800 million. Now, Ethereum has a much, much higher market cap. So let's go right here. Ethereum is $4.4 billion market cap, and that's after going down 2% today. It went down a little bit earlier. Also, it was almost 4.8%. I believe that's the peak it ever did. So in my mind, we want to really focus our world on the top 5 or so cryptocurrencies. I don't believe, there's a lot of games you can play and a lot of fun you can do in some of these other cryptocurrencies, but cryptocurrencies like Zcash, there's no store of value. That thing gets depreciated so quick because so many more Zcash are made. There's not even 1 million Zcash right now, but not too long ago, there was a lot less. So anyway, some of these other currencies, Golem, yeah, maybe it'll go up. We don't know. MadeSafe coin, I don't know. Ethereum Classic, I don't honestly believe that there's going to be much of a future for Ethereum Classic unless something causes Ethereum itself to crash, because there's really no need for Ethereum Classic because all the developers and all the usage has moved over to regular Ethereum and not Ethereum Classic. I do understand the whole history and how it works, but Dash is something that I'm actually really surprised with, that it is worth so much. It has had a rough couple of days, the last couple of days. It was $80 just like 3 days ago. Now it's 67. Anyway, that being said, I think that Ethereum is a much better cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. And if you read around on the internet, there's a lot of people that agree with me on this issue. Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I honestly think that you'll see this market cap right here. I don't think that the market cap is ever going to go down very much on cryptocurrencies. I think we're going to have it double during the course of this year. This is the year that everybody's discovering and investing in cryptocurrencies. I think this, there's more hype about it in just the last month or two than I've seen in the last couple of years put together. So with all of this new awareness and new dollars, I think the market cap is going to go up a lot in cryptocurrencies. Now, that being said, I think my belief, because it is more useful, most of that increase is going to happen right here in Ethereum. I think Ethereum's usefulness it's faster than Bitcoin. I believe it's more stable than Bitcoin. I've used them both. It's a little bit easier to use. I think Bitcoin is going to be like a store of value, and Ethereum is what people are going to use to actually do transactions. So what does that mean? Let's go into the future and predict a market cap of $20 billion for Bitcoin. So that's going to look at a price probably somewhere around $1,150, maybe $1,200. I think that's where we're going to see the price in, let's say, by the end of the year, by the end of 2017. So if we put a $20 billion market cap on Bitcoin, I think we're going to see about a $20 to $25 billion market cap on Ethereum. So what would a $25 billion market cap look like for the price of Ethereum? Well, we're going to have a little bit more circulating supply by the end of the year, a few million. But what it's going to do is, in order to get to a $25 billion market cap, we're going to have to see this number, our current market cap, go up by over 5 times. Which, in order to do that, with the only a slightly larger, 1 or 2% larger circulating supply, we're going to need to see the price go up by over 5 times, because we're only at 4.4 and we're targeting for 25. So that would put a price of Ethereum right around 270. So at $270 per Ethereum, that's insane. Right now, the difficulty, so if you type in Ethereum difficulty, just this month alone, the difficulty of Ethereum has almost doubled. We're talking 151, 152 at the beginning of the month to almost 250 2 days ago, back down to 234 just because of the little dip in price. So with that level of difficulty, that's a lot of Bitcoin. I mean, a lot of Ethereum. So if that level of difficulty, if you're like me and you want to mine, and you mine, I have multiple machines mining a total of about 300 megahash, let's say 270 right now. That's my average. We were reworking our network today, so a few machines were down intermittently for today. So with the current difficulty at 235, that gives me 14 Ethereum. 14 Ethereum per day, which today's bounty, $685. But we're not care about today's money. That's not what we're doing right now. We're talking about the money we're going to have here in the future. So let's say I can do 14 Ethereum per day, and we're just going to easily time it by the 270, which is, as we just discussed, where Ethereum is going by the end of the year. As long as we're good evangelists and tell people to use Ethereum, it's going to go to 270, because that's what's going to be required for it to have a market cap of 25 million. And I think it's, we're going to double the market cap of cryptocurrencies by only raising Ethereum a little bit and by raising everything else a little bit too. But we're going to be raising Ethereum a lot. So Bitcoin just a little, everything else a little, maybe 1 or 2 currencies out there will see a pretty big increase. Maybe Dash, it seems useful. We don't know. It's not big enough to actually have enough usage to see what the future is. But let's say, for example, some really innovative company like, say, Uber, that does itty-bitty, small $10, $15 transactions all over the world. And they're doing transactions in countries where, most of the people don't actually have credit cards. America, that's not really too much of a problem. Most people have credit cards or debit cards. But in a lot of countries on this planet, 2, 3, 4% of the people might have a debit or credit card, and the other 90-something% don't. And in a culture like that, if some company like Uber decided to make Ethereum their standard for micropayments, and then every Uber user would, let's say 10 million Uber users jump on the bandwagon, they all have to buy just 1 or 2 Ethereum just so that they can live and be able to spend that. Well, now we're looking at, and spend that on their Uber rides and make it more efficient. They built it right into their app where you can buy your Uber ride with Ethereum. That right there, if Uber and Ethereum could partner, boom, 20 million, 30 million brand new users for Ethereum. Guess what that's going to do? Let's say 40 million pieces of Ethereum need to be purchased, because each person needs to buy like 1 or 2 units. We're talking that alone right there would drive most of a giant market cap increase.